No, you say when you're going to give me opportunity about 20 overs in T20 cricket, it's never too tough to do that. But I thought the wicket was good. It spun a little bit. I was a bit unsure how it was going to play and what was going to be a good score. But I knew we had our work cut out. So I think we bowled really, really well. Probably one of our better bowling performances so far this tournament. And yeah, the guys restricted them really well and happy to obviously get us over the line. Enjoyed being out there with Rassie. Started a bit shaky. Wasn't really, switched on as much as I should be, but glad to have got the team over the line. You know what, this summer has been a bit difficult. Having been left out of the national side, it's probably mentally took a hit, and I've been looking for answers both on the field and off the field. So yeah, I think coming into this tournament, I just really said I have nothing to lose, and Robbie set the platform for me. He's just given me license to make sure that I try to get the team off to the best start we can. I'm not worried about getting out. I'm not worried about runs. I'm just worried about trying to get us off to a good start and have a positive impact for the team, because we've got such a powerhouse middle order behind us. Yeah, I thought we were going to bat first, in all honesty, but I'm glad we didn't. I think this year it's getting on a little bit more under lights, so if we can restrict them up front in the power play, especially in the power play, I thought we did so well to pull it back after Jason and Josh got going. But yeah, I think it was just more about strong shots. We obviously try to use the angles with the short side and the bigger side, but I think the most important thing, probably where we faltered the last game, is we went bang bang. I don't know whose over it was, but we lost 2 in quick succession. So when we did lose a wicket, the emphasis was just trying to build a partnership in terms of balls, not runs. And luckily we were able to do that today. Yeah, I think the benefit of playing with Russ is that we've played together for a long time at the Lions. I was a junior coming up while he was, obviously a senior in the side. I think one great aspect is that we know each other's games really well. So we know when we're falling out of each other's, or when we're falling out of game plan, and we discuss each options for each player. I know what Rassie's good at. He knows what I'm good at, and we try to work that into our game. We did put a big emphasis on our partnership. We want to be the leaders in terms of the tournament of Rassie and I, and we're actually having fun out there. Today, Rassie took the mantra or the mantle up front. I was stagnating a little bit, and he pulled me through that. And even when he got out, he guided me to where I need to go. So I love batting with him, and hopefully we can continue this for a few more weeks. Yeah, it was frustrating. But the biggest thing for me that this was a fresh start. We hadn't played any T20 cricket so far in the summer for the Lions. So at a fresh start, I took the weight off of expectation. For the first time in my career, I'm probably not worried about getting out. I'm worried about having an impact. So there's nothing against anyone, the selectors, anything like that. I'm just obviously trying to have fun for the my Cape Town side, and I'm actually enjoying my cricket. I'm enjoying my batting, and it's a great team. It's a great bunch of guys, and I'm enjoying being here for us. I don't know what form is. Yeah, obviously the ball went with me today. It rolled with me today. But again, I'm just trying to keep it simple. Like I said, I think the biggest thing is that I'm really not worried about getting out. I'm worried about having an impact for the team. It just happened to be that I'm managing to kick on. So yeah, if it's kicking on, I'm going to obviously try to keep it going. But like I said, I'm enjoying my batting. I'm enjoying having a positive impact. I'm enjoying being out there with Rassie. And I think that's the biggest thing for me. I'm sure you can see it on the field. He really takes the game by the scruff of the neck. Look, I think he's actually the most experienced T20 player in the world. So again, it will be foolish not to listen to him, but he knows what he's talking about. He's seen and played against everyone in the world. But he's quite calm. He didn't panic when we were under the pump early on. He just emphasized what we're trying to do and sticking to the plan. And he's obviously a great head to have in the team. Like I said, he's seen it all. He's experienced everything. So nothing's really going to surprise him. But again, the way he thinks about the game is always just trying to be positive and just keep a calm head and make sure that you can execute your skill. And he's a lot of captains I think would have not faltered, but they would have gone a different direction when we were under the pump early on like that. So he's massive for us, not just in his skill he provides, but obviously his leadership he provides too. Obviously the crowd's been phenomenal. We're extremely grateful to have them out here. Love seeing the blue wave. We knew on I think it was Tuesday we played, and the ground was packed. So, on a Friday night we expected the same thing. We owed them a win, especially here at Newlands, and we're grateful that we could do that. It's great to see all the kids out and everyone wearing blue, and hopefully they're having a good time being in Newlands. Yeah, obviously I was looking forward a bit too much early on in my innings. I was moving a little bit too late, and my head was probably moving a little bit too while I was standing up. But Rassie mentioned that to me, and I tried to get it going. Rassie just kept saying, you get one away, you can get another one away, and suddenly the whole game changes. So yeah, again, I wasn't worried about getting out. The 2 shots, the first shot wasn't a great one, but at the back end of the game, if Mitch hung on to that, I wouldn't have been disappointed. Was the big side, but I wouldn't have been too disappointed about it. But again, just emphasizing, trying to be really still and let my mind be free. And if the ball comes into my area, I'm looking to go after it. Yeah, he does. Connie's a really good player. A lot of people don't actually know about him because he plays behind me at the lines, in all honesty. But I train with him every day. I see how hard he works. I see the skills he possesses. So it's great to see him out there, have a platform for him to showcase it. He's still a little bit nervous. I can see it. Needs a bit of nudging, but I think he's doing himself proud, and it's great to have him out there. I'm sure it's great for him to be out there for the winning runs, and he's a player that's going to go a long way. I think each game he plays is just going to get better and better. I'm expecting it to turn, that's what I'm day game in Paarl is actually always quite tough. It's going to be hot. The crowd's always a bit abusive towards the opposition, but you know what, it's hopefully we can take a bit of momentum. I think we just need to adjust. It's a big ground. I'm not actually sure on the wicket we'll get. I've seen some good ones. I've seen some slightly lower scoring ones. So I think it'll just be about adapting and accepting that maybe 160 is a good total, or 140 is a good total on the wicket. So I think it'll just be emphasis on adaptation. And again, if we can get another 4 points on Sunday, that'll be huge for us going into next week.
Looking on the game, there's bits and pieces that we can take apart and say we could have improved. Obviously, I think we would have liked 20 or 30 runs more. That would have made bowling on a very good surface a bit easier. But in hindsight, we didn't bowl well enough, regardless of what total we had on the board. So back to the drawing board and a quick turnaround. I don't know. You can do funny things in pressure situations. Maybe that just got the better of a couple of guys. It's also tough fielding at Newlands, where there's a lot of crowd movement and that sort of thing. It's not to blame anything, but there are aspects of our fielding that we need to improve. A lot of game awareness that's involved with that as well. So hopefully we can rectify that before Sunday. Especially with it being T20 cricket, regardless of what form you're in, any team can win on any day. It's the nature of the game. All the teams are quite stacked with star players all around. So obviously form does play a certain role, but I don't think in T20 cricket it's that big of a factor. You've got match winners all the way from 1 to 11 in basically every team. So you just got to take it ball by ball and hopefully the outcome's on your side. Obviously we know our conditions quite well. Our batters are quite adept at being at peace with the fact that it's not going to be a high scoring game like tonight was. There's not going to be as many boundaries, and I think that sort of plays well into the way that we bat, and it also gives confidence to the guys bowling, knowing that there's a set game plan that we want to follow, and it's been proven to work in the past, and we've got full confidence that it will work on Sunday. Gentlemen at the back did make us aware that we 3-0 down against these boys, but like I said earlier, it's T20 cricket, anything can happen. I mean, we might rock up on Sunday and it could be an absolute road and someone gets a massive 100. It could be a low scoring affair as well. It's just what happens on the day and which team adapts quicker. I feel has the better chance of winning. Hopefully that can be us. Yeah, playing in Paarl is always special for myself and a few other guys from that region. I know that there aren't many guys from Paarl that are still based there. So going back and playing and seeing familiar faces in the crowd sort of brings back memories from when I used to sit on the grass banks and watching guys like Ashwell Prince and the Cobras team of the heyday. It does bring back a bit of nostalgia that you sort of appreciate. And then looking forward to Sunday, like I mentioned earlier, it is a Cape Derby, but nothing changes. anything can happen on Sunday, and we've just got to be ready for whatever's in front of us. Yeah, I've enjoyed it thoroughly. He's got a innovative thinking about the game. Obviously, outside of South Africa, different countries think differently about the game. He's no exception to that. We've sort of appreciated the feedback that he's given us and new ways that we can expand our game. I think that's why barring tonight, that's why we've done so well this season, where last season we were sort of looked at as hometown bullies. And I was quite pleased with the way that we handled things up in Pretoria. And it's all down to us trying to expand our games through his thought processes. No, it's been excellent from season 1 all the way through to where we are now. Obviously, we've had a couple of new additions and a couple of exits. But regarding the spirit of the team and the will to win, nothing's changed. We'll always want to play for each other, and that's when we seem to enjoy the game more. Yeah, I feel like we've bowled really well in those first 3 games, even though Pretoria was quite a high-scoring affair. But the way that we adapted to certain situations and made peace with the fact that someone's going to get whacked, as long as the rest of us are there to support said bowler, I think that we'll hold ourselves in good stead. We'll try and continue to do that for the rest of the tournament. Firstly, we've got an English boy that's actually South African, John Turner, so it's not too hard with him. And the rest of the boys, they've all been in South Africa enough times where they sort of pick up little things. Swear words firstly, the rest sort of follows. But yeah, whatever's the team philosophy, they've all bought into it quite nicely, and it's been nice to see that.